Islanders preseason game, but it's not a problem. And they lost in overtime. We'll break down some key takeaways from that. And the coach, Barry Trotz, calling out a key young player, saying he's not having a good enough camp. We'll talk about that, what it means, and what Barry Trotz is trying to do. All that and a whole lot more coming up on today's Locked On Islanders podcast.
Your Locked On Islanders, your daily podcast on the New York Islanders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, everybody. Hope everyone had a good weekend, and welcome to the Monday edition of the Locked On Islanders podcast. I love it. I mean, hockey season. We're in October now. Hockey season just around the corner. I want to thank you for making On Islanders your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms and also on YouTube now. So make sure you're over there. We show for you today. The Islanders losing to the New Jersey Devils on Saturday up in Bridgeport. Their first loss, 2-1 in overtime. But, wasn't a bad game. We'll have some key takeaways from that. Barry Trotz calling out a young player who the team is really kind of counting on this year, saying he's not having a great training camp. We'll talk about the player and what this means, what Barry Trotz is doing, and why it's really a little too soon to worry. We'll have our Islanders birthday of the day, a very popular Islander from the 80s, and a whole lot more coming up on today's show. So first, obviously, if there's something Islanders related on your mind, if you have a question, a comment, a topic that you'd like us to discuss on the show, feel free to send us an email. The email address, as always, lockedonislanders@gmail.com. And if you leave your first name and where you're from, we're happy to mention you on the show when we talk about whatever it is that's on your mind. You could also follow the show on Twitter at Locked On Isles, and you could follow me, Gil Martin, on Twitter at Ice Wars, NYRVSNYI. We'll keep you up to date on all the latest news from around training camp, preseason games, rumors, and everything leading up to the season, which, by the way, is a week and a half away. I am excited about this one. So let's get started with the Saturday afternoon game at the Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport. First home game for the Islanders in the preseason, and their first loss, 2-1 in overtime against the Devils. And Islanders got on the board first, Kiefer Bellows scoring on a 2-on-1, nice pass by Matthew Barzal to set that up, and Bellows buries it. Then, the Devils tie it in the third period late in the game, force overtime, Mark Jankowski with the goal, and then Igor Sarangovich, that's a mouthful, he got the game winner in OT. Ilya Sorokin playing 2 periods in this game, and to me, again, the biggest good sign from this one, 40 minutes for Ilya Sorokin. He only faces 11 shots, which tells you that the Islanders are in, for the third game in a row, mid-season form when it comes to defense. And here is where the continuity by the Islanders really pays off. This is their 4th year under Barry Trotz as the head coach. The players know the system that Trotz wants them to play. They're comfortable in it, and they're executing it well. And when you hold the opposition to 11 shots on goal total over the first 40 minutes, you've done a good job. And it's, again, for the second straight game that he's played, Ilya Sorokin doing a standout job for the Islanders in goal, and he was perfect out of the 11 shots he faced. And look, we know Semyon Varlamov is banged up. We don't know whether or not Varley is actually going to be ready for the start of the opening, of the regular season. And so having Ilya Sorokin as a goalie who can certainly start. I mean, look, there are 32 teams in this league. I would say that Ilya Sorokin would start for 10 to 12 of those teams easily, maybe more if you give him the opportunity. So, having him be the starter until Varley is healthy, really not a big concern for the Islanders. In the third period, Corey Schneider came in. He played goal, and he stayed out there in the overtime. And again, he faces 7 shots in the period plus the remaining 3.5 minutes of OT. So realistically, the Islanders only giving up 18 shots in a 63-minute, 36-second game. That's not bad. Schneider stopping 5 of 7 in the game, and that certainly is big. The other key takeaway from an Islanders perspective, and this to me is again important. Special teams, the penalty kill. The Islanders have yet to allow a power play goal through 3 preseason games. And look, special teams, very important. We know how important they are in the playoffs, but during the regular season, they're important as well. And the fact that the Islanders on the PK seem very comfortable, very ready to play. And, again, this is a veteran team, familiar with the system. They know what's expected of them. And you're seeing the team, even though it's still preseason, they are getting the job done on the PK, and that is good. Power play, still a little bit of a problem. But, yeah, we hopefully will get that taken care of. And look, the Islanders were even shorthanded for a minute and a half almost, minute 27, a 5-on-3 midway through the period, and they got the job done, even down 2 men. So far, through 3 games, the PK 11 for 11, and that is a good thing to see. Matthew Ball getting his first game action of the preseason, as did J.G. Pajot and Zach Barzal. In on the first goal with a nice feed to Kiefer Bellows. And again, just good to see, some of these veterans getting out on the ice and doing their thing. This team is ready. And I don't think you could ask too much more of this Islanders team this early. We're still roughly at the halfway mark of the preseason. To have a team looking as good as the Islanders do right now is encouraging. And, look, 2-0-1 through those 3 preseason games, also encouraging for the New York Islanders. So I'm happy with it. I think Islander fans should be happy with it. Yeah, you don't like to lose, but you know what? The Islanders so far in preseason, not that it matters, 5 out of a possible 6 points. You got to like that. You do that all year long, you're putting yourself in a very good position. Barry Trotz called out a particular Islanders player. Said he's not having a good camp, and it's a young player who this team is counting on. We'll talk about that. We have our Islanders birthday of the day, a former Olympian who had a big role with the Islanders in the 80s. That and a whole lot more still to come on the Locked On Islanders podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by DirecTV Stream. Does this sound familiar? You got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows. You're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friends log in for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all the entertainment you love without the hassle, and it's a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes. I hate trying to find the right remote. And no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package. Hey, Islanders fans. This is Gil Martin with an incredible app everyone who buys gas needs to know about. Get Upside. My listeners are making up to 25 cents for every gallon of gas every time they fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use the promo code HOCKEY and get a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. That's up to 50 cents cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Get Upside. Just download the app for free and use the promo code HOCKEY to get up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. Some people who drive a lot are making as much as $200 to $300 a month in cash back, and there's no catch. The cash back gets added right to your account. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon or other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use the promo code HOCKEY to get up to 50 cents a gallon cash back on your first tank. That's promo code HOCKEY for up to 50 cents a gallon back on your first tank of gas. Thanks again for making Locked On Islanders your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. The bill for Islander fans was basically said that Oliver Wahlstrom is having a mess, and that platform for more consistency. From and look, here we go. It's October 4th, and 12 goals, 21 points in 40. After 20, you're still a young kid. And Trotz says you need more. Wahlstrom is not his best so far. It's not a good, but really, and coach. And one of the reasons he's a very good coach, it's not just the system that he plays, it's not backups that puts together his players personally prepared for doing what they need to do. They know what's expected of them, and they know what they have. Very rarely play orange game. Look, every team has them. They totally play games, period. I don't think Trotz thinks that Oliver is terrible. And he might want Wally a lot more than what he's so far. At some point, you're capable. The round out the top. But I need more from you. I need to see more from you. If you want that spot, it's a possibility. You may not get it before the season starts. You may not get it the first month, the second month. It may not happen at all this year. But if you want that spot, if you want to establish yourself as a third or even up line wing in this league, this team, I need more. And I need more from you, not just with the puck, but without the puck. I need to make you back check. I need to make sure you're in the right position. I need to make sure you take the body, that you take a hit to the play, that you can pass, that you move, don't have the puck to try to get it open, and that you know what to, when we're in the offensive zone, and we score and make a play, all of those things. This, more than anything, is a motivational tactic by Trotz. And I think by creating a situation where, look, right now we're 10 away. See it up in Carolina. Wahlstrom played against New Jersey. He's going to be in the lineup when the season's gets underway. He may be on third. He may not all the power ice time and all the ice time he hopes to get or wants to get. But this Islanders need one. They need performance. It is important for him to start there. 12 goals to 25 goals to the 50th best score average and an above average for the Islanders. Again, Wahlstrom and Howland, obviously, when we joined the season, really was a key part of the club for about a decade. So we'll talk about that. We have that and a whole lot more still to come on the Locked On Islanders podcast. So thanks to the great resignation, the job market is filled with once-in-a-generation talent. So how is your organization going to put together an all-star team? Your front office needs an all-star roster. You need Indeed, the hiring partner that gets you what you really want, a short list of quality candidates as fast as possible, because you can do it all. Attract, interview, and hire all at Indeed. Don't struggle on your own to find quality candidates. Indeed can help you hire the right people right now. Indeed partners with you on every step of the hiring process so you can find talent with the skills you need through tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. With Indeed Match, as soon as you sponsor a post, you get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description, and you can even invite them to apply right away. To get started right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/locked-on. Get a $75 credit at Indeed.com/locked-on, Indeed.com/locked-on. Offer valid through December 31st. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Today's episode is also brought to you by Built Bar, the best tasting protein bar ever. You know, Built Bar has so many delicious flavors. There really is one for everyone. And listen to these flavors. You'll know why. Cherry Barcia, coconut, double chocolate, strawberry, German chocolate, mint brownie, and my personal favorite, salted caramel. Sweet and salty together. You got to love it. And if you haven't tried all the flavors, you could pick up a mixed box. You'll get 2 of each of the 9 flavors so you could figure out which ones are your favorites. And not only are Built Bar flavors the best tasting, they're healthy too. Check out the macros. Each bar has between 17 and 18 grams of protein. Calories range from 130 to 180 per bar. Only 4 to 5 grams of sugar and only 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. All flavors are amazing, tasty, and all are healthy. And Built Bar is the official protein bar of the U.S. track and field team. Go to Built.com, use the promo code LOCKED15, and you'll get 15% off your order. That's promo code LOCKED15. for 15% off at Built.com. Time now for our Islanders birthday of the day. And, this one is a special one because if you were an Islander fan in the 80s, you know that yesterday, Sunday, was the 58th birthday for former forward Pat Flatley. Flatley played at the University of Wisconsin for a couple of years, was a member of the 1984 Canadian Olympic team, and then joined the Islanders after the Olympics in 1984 and went on that long playoff run. The last time the Islanders were in the Cup final was Flatley's rookie year, and in 21 games in those playoffs, he had 9 goals and 15 points, but the Islanders ended up falling in the Stanley Cup final to Wayne Gretzky and the Oilers. He had a 20-goal season his first year, complete year with the Isles in 84-85, then had another one in 90-91, stayed with the Islanders all the way through the 1995-96 season, and then in what was a very strange situation, signed and played his final NHL year with the Rangers of all teams. But Flatley played in 780 NHL games, 170 goals, 510 points, had 18 goals and 33 points in 70 playoff games. And 59 of those 70 came with the New York Islanders. He was a big part of the 84 team that reached the Cup final. And then, of course, the 1993 team that reached the conference final as well. We're going to go back and look at one of Pat Flatley's better games with the Islanders. February 1st, 1994 at the Nassau Coliseum. The San Jose Sharks in town. Arturs Urbe, the goalie for San Jose. The Islanders countering with Jamie. And it was our Islanders' birthday of the day. Pat Flatley getting the Isles on the board first. His 7th of the year. Derek King, the only assist at 9:56. Islanders 1, Sharks nothing. Then the Islanders go on the power play. Flatley cashes in with the extra men, his 2nd of the game, 8th of the year. Ray Ferraro and Uwe Krupp with assists at 12:10. and the Islanders led 2-0. That was the score after the first period. But in the second period, Dean Chenal thought for interference. The Sharks get on the board. Jeff Odgers, a power play goal, his 10th. Rob Goudreau and Todd Ellick with the assist at 5:31. And it was a 2-1 game. Then the Islanders take another penalty. Dennis Vasky off goaltender interference at 6:23, but Pat Flatley comes through for the Islanders, a short-handed goal, his 9th. Keith Acton and Darius Kasparaitis with the assists, a hat trick for Pat Flatley. Goal came at 6:54, and the Islanders were ahead 3-1. Then another short-handed goal. Benoit Hogue tallies his 22nd from Scotland at 7:30. Islanders 4, and the Sharks 1. But the Shark didn't quit. Ray Whitney scored in the second period from Sergei Makarov and Sandis Ozilin. That made it a 4-2 game, and then the Sharks tie it. Former Islander Jeff Norton, his 3rd from Sergei Makarov at 3:22 of the third period, 4-3. Then Pat Falloon, unassisted goal, his 16th of the year at 10:46, and all of a sudden, the Islanders' 4-1 lead is gone. We're tied at 4. But less than a minute later, Benoit Hogue, his 2nd of the game, is 23rd of the year. Steve Thomas and Vladimir Malakov with the assists. Islanders hold on and defeat the San Jose Sharks, a score of 5-4. Pat Flatley, 3 goals in this game on 4 shots on goal. That 4 shots on goal did indeed lead the team. Islanders outshot 24-22 in this one. 20 saves for Jamie McLennan as he leads the team to the win. And again, a very strong performance by our Islanders' birthday of the day, Pat Flatley, and we wish him a happy birthday and many, many happy more. Oh, a good guy. I interviewed him for my book, Short and Flatley. Definitely a good guy. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll preview the Islanders' next preseason game, another home game at Bridgeport. We'll talk about that. And, of course, we'll have the latest news, notes, and everything else concerning your New York Islanders as training camp continues. So thanks again for making Locked On Islanders your first listen every day. Now make your second listen Locked On Fantasy Hockey. Host Scott Cullen leans on his decades of fantasy hockey insight and experience every day to help you be the expert of your fantasy league. It's free and available on all platforms. That does it for this episode of the Locked On Islanders podcast. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe. And, of course, let's go Islanders.